From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Beacon Retirement Strategies with Pete Benson and John Maxon.
Hi, and welcome to Beacon Retirement Strategies. My name's Pete Benson. I'm here with John Maxon, my business partner, and we have a great show planned for you today. It's very informative, very educational. If you're aware you can write some things down, I think that'd be very helpful, because what we're going to talk about today is retirement blind spots. Have you ever been riding along in a car, John? Not you, surely, but you know, some of us, and we're looking and we want to change lanes, and it appears that everything is clear, and so we look in our rear view mirror, nothing shows up, so all of a sudden we start to go into the other lane, and all of a sudden we hear this big loud roar of somebody's car horn, and they're letting us know, do not come over here because we're already taking up this space. So we call that a blind spot, and there are retirement blind spots that many people have, and we want to just cover those for you today because you need to know them in advance exactly what to do. So the first blind spot, John, not knowing your number.
Yeah, I mean, this is really big. You know, surveys say that 56% of people approximately have never actually sat down and sort of try to calculate what number or how much money they're going to need to save for retirement. They don't have a budget. They don't have a target in mind, and that's really important because what's going to happen as you approach retirement is a lot of things are going to change in your life. You're going to have in retirement, for example, additional health care concerns and things of that nature, and believe it or not, in many cases you have the same income needs in retirement as you do in your working years. And what we find, Pete, as you know, is that you're going to go through three very predominant stages in retirement, which could be for a very long time, hopefully, if you're healthy. When you first retire, you're going to fall into what we call the Gogo Stage. And the Gogo Stage is the first 10 to 15 years in retirement. When you're younger and healthier, you're going to travel, and chances are you're going to spend more money during that period of time. You're going to enjoy the fruit of your labor of what you've been saving money for all these years. And then at some point down the road, you're going to go into what we call the slow go stage. And that doesn't mean that you're never going anywhere, you're never traveling. You're probably just not traveling as much. And then ultimately you'll end up in what we call the no-go stage. Now, that doesn't mean you're in a skilled facility in a nursing home care or something like that, but you might be like my 93-year-old grandmother who lives independently, but she travels very little. And so each one of those stages of your retirement life, you need to know your number to retire, but you also need to know your budget and your number as you go through the three spending habits. Very, very important, and something that very few people do. So knowing your number is huge.
Yeah, and you know, 56% of all the people out there that retire really don't have a target. They don't know their number. So do you know yours? We'd be happy to help you with that, and it's something that you really need to do before you jump into retirement. So that's a blind spot you just don't want to happen to you. And the second one is not factoring in true life expectancy. It is a fact that if you are in your mid-60s, there's a very strong chance, if it's a couple, that one of you is going to live into your 90s. So when we're planning retirement for families around Middle Tennessee here, we're factoring in that retirement could last 2 to 3 decades. That's 20, 25, 30 plus years. That's a long time. In fact, for some people, that's as long as they work to get there. So it is a long time. And if you need $50,000 just to kind of meet your budget when you first retire, 10 years later, you need $70,000 just to do the same thing. And then 10 years beyond that, it's over $90,000. So you've almost doubled the need of your income just to live the same lifestyle 20 years later. So not factoring in life expectancy is huge. So you need to know your number, and then you need to know how long your income is going to last. And you need to really have an income plan in order to do that. So the question is, what is your plan, and have you factored in inflation as we have shown you in this? At Beacon Capital, what we do is we do a living, breathing case study of you and really do a true income plan to make sure that your money will last as long as you may last. So we want to make sure that we have a plan in place for these retirement blind spots. Number one, not knowing your number. And at Beacon Capital, we want to help you with that. You need to know, you need to have a target in mind, and then life expectancy. And John, what a great time to tell them about our Beacon Retirement Wealth Plan.
Yeah, so if you don't know your number and you want to know more about what your life expectancies could be, and you want to take advantage of the Beacon Retirement Wealth Plan. Now, this is a series of reports that we're going to put into your hands free of charge. The first one is a fee report, which is really going to unpack how much you're paying for the investments that you have. That's important for you to know, because many times we find that people are paying more than they should be or have to be for the investments that they have. And then to your point, Pete, an income plan. If you're close to retirement or in retirement, you need to plan for longevity on your income to have sustainable and dependable income, so you really retire with peace of mind. When it comes to a risk analysis, the bottom line is the market's sort of been all over the place. It's really important to know how much risk you have at this stage of your life, in particular if you're retired, versus when you were working and not having to rely on your retirement assets. And a risk analysis will really do that for you. And then a tax analysis just lets you know inside and a lot of times under the hood of your investments, are they as tax efficient as they could be or they should be. So this is a lot of helpful, detailed information we'd love to get in your hands. If you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement, these are free of charge. Give us a call. Our number, 615-436-6000. That's 615-436-6000. You can see that number on your screen. Well, it's time for a short break. You're watching Beacon Retirement Strategies with John Maxon and Pete Benson. Stick around and we'll be right back.